Hi, I'm John Stewart, Chief Investment Officer of Farmers Trust Company. This is the Investor's Edge.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.
Hi, I'm John Stewart. Welcome to the Investor's Edge. First up, the week in review. Market melt-up mode. Well, stocks rallied strongly into the 4th of July holiday, and despite a brief pullback at the beginning of this past week on renewed tariff fears, major market indexes continued to hit new all-time highs on almost a daily basis. With a big beautiful bill legislation now signed into law, market participants are beginning to focus on pro-growth benefits for businesses, and there really doesn't seem to be much standing in the market's way. Now, as market volatility subsides, a lot of funds are forced to play catch-up and are buying stocks because of the fear of missing out on further gains. Now, while this is certainly welcome news for most investors, it does start to set the stage for potential downside risks going forward. Stocks are expensive, and now investors are starting to get more comfortable, if not complacent. That's usually when the market starts to become more vulnerable. Once everyone's in the boat and all the good news is priced in, then what? For this week's featured insight, add some quality dividend payers. Everyone loves growth investing, especially given the market environment over the last several years. And what's not to love? Doubling your money in 6 months is a real possibility with some of these stocks. There's no free lunch though. Stocks that can double your money in 6 months can also lose half of their value just as quickly. So don't fall so far in love with growth that you forget to be prudent about your long-term investing plan. There are a lot of high-quality dividend-paying companies out there that still trade at reasonable valuations. They might be boring, but your portfolio will thank you the next time the Nasdaq drops 20%. Looking ahead, lots to digest. There is a lot going on next week. First off, second quarter earnings season begins with reports from the large banks, among other early reporters, and this will be a key insight into what financial institutions are seeing developing real time with the economy. We'll also get a deluge of economic data next week. The biggest report probably will be the Consumer Price Index, or CPI inflation reading, because of what it means for the Fed's next meeting and the potential for interest rate adjustments. We'll also get industrial production numbers and retail sales, among several other key economic barometers. Oh yeah, and just to make things interesting, next week is monthly options expiration, which always tends to increase the potential for volatility. Better buckle up. Once again, I'm John Stewart. Thank you for watching The Investor's Edge.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.